Hey artist, welcome to my channel. Today we are bringing this illustration to life using only default brushes. Yeah, you heard that right, default brushes with a few modifications. So the modified brushes are soft airbrush, HB pencil and charcoal pencil. If you want to know how to modify these, go and check out description below. One more thing, you can download color palette and sketch if you need. So let's get started. Alright, let's bring this adorable monster to life. First, I'll keep my canvas zoomed out. This gives me a bird's eye view of my sketch and helps me balance out the composition. Now let's get rough. I'll add some ridiculously rough strokes to get a feel for this little guy's character. I'm adding here a very basic detail so that we can get a sense of his basic personality. Now let's zoom in a bit and add some rough details. I'll use confident strokes even if it looks a bit messy at first. We are just bringing out the rough sketch, so don't worry about perfection. Let's add some fluffy fur. I know it looks a bit stingy and sharp right now, but we are just getting the idea down. We will refine it later. Our little monster is holding a donut in his hand, and let's add some creamy goodness on top. You know, that sweet drippy glaze that makes donut irresistible. I'll just quickly block in the shapes and feel for the sketch. That's the key. Just let your pencil move freely and see where it takes you. Now it's time for final step, the cherry on top, the final details. Now you can zoom in to the extent you want, cause honestly you can only add precise strokes when you zoom in. Sky is the limit. As we add more details, let's introduce some dark areas to create depth and make our sketch more visually appealing. That's it, our sketch is now complete. You can download the sketch. Go and check out the description below. Let's proceed to the coloring process of our illustration. This is the color palette we will be working with. Now grab the modified soft airbrush tool and go to its opacity option and adjust this setting. Now select the first color from the color palette and apply this color to the monster's body, establishing the base tone. Use eraser to shape up the color. Subsequently, we will add another layer and then we will select the second color, which is a lighter shade. We will apply this lighter shade using soft airbrush to the torso of monster. Select solid fill from fills folder. Now use solid fill to color the eyes. After it, select the third color from the color palette, which is a warm brown color. Add this brown color to the inner part of our monster ears and to those fabulous horns. Moving on, create another layer and apply the warm brown color to the donut our monster is holding. Next, we will select an eraser tool and carefully erase the middle part of donut as well as the brown color from our monster's hand. Darken the color and desaturate the color to create a darker shade but not quite black, and then use solid fill to add this color to the black part of eyes and to the mouth. Create a new layer and select the fourth color from the color palette. Now it's time to add some creamy goodness to our donut. Now select second color and use it to color the teeth of monster. Moving on, create a new layer and use darker shade to color the nails of monster using solid fill. Using the same dark color, we will create a thin line above the eyes, giving the impression that they are anchored in place. Use eraser to fix up their shape. Coloring process is done. Now it's time to add shading magic to our monster. Create a new layer for shading and change its blending mode to darken. Select the first color and make it cooler, make it more purplish. Now select Modify Soft Airbrush. Go to the last layer and select this layer. Now go to the upper layer and click on selection and subtract the selection. Now the torso area is deselected. Now go to the darken blending mode layer and we're gonna add dark shadows only to this layer. Now let's add some depth to our monster with shading. We will start by adding a darker color to both left and right sides of our monster's body. For the left side, we will use a slightly lighter shade. We will also apply this lighter shade to the eye area, specifically the back part of the eyes, to add some nuance to our monster's facial features. To isolate the torso area, we will navigate to second layer and then select it. Go to the upper layer and then click on select and subtract the selection. Similarly, go to the upper layer, click on select and then subtract the selection, ensuring that only torso part remains selected. Navigate to blending mode layer and arrange it below. Now select the second color from the color palette and desaturate it and slightly darken it to create a richer muted tone. Finally, we will apply this darker color to the torso part of our monster's body, adding depth to our illustration. Now long press to pick a darker shade. With this darker shade selected, we will add it to the lower portion of monster's body as well as the space between the donut and its hand. This will create a sense of depth as if the hands and donut are casting shadows on the lower body. Next, head over to the blender and then select the cloth shader blender from pencils folder. Go to the settings and we will navigate to the head portion, scroll down to adjust the structure to about 18% and then save the settings. We will blend the darker color on the lower portion of monster's body, creating a seamless and natural looking shadow effect. Pick the dark color and add it to the space between the donut. Next, we will blend the dark color on the torso body, creating a smooth transition. Switching to pen tool, we will select the second color and make it slightly darker and add it below the mouth using soft airbrush and to the upper area of dark color. Then we will switch to a smudge tool and blend the color for smooth results. Switch to pen tool and select the brown color and make it slightly darker and apply it to the horns and the inner part of ear. Next, take the second color and infuse it with a whisper of gray. Now use it to subtly shade the lower part of the eyes and the torso, casting our monster in a captivating multi-dimensional light. Now, time to add shadows to the donut. Navigate to donut layer and select this layer. Now navigate to upper layer and click on select and subtract the selection of this layer. Now only the brown part is selected. Now go to the darken layer, select the brown color and make it slightly darker and more saturated. Now add the dark color to the brown part of the donut. Now go to the color wheel and make the color slightly darker and saturated. Now add this darker and saturated color to the donut. Now deselect the layer and navigate to the creamy part of donut. Select this layer and go to the darken layer. Select the fourth color from the color palette and make it darker and saturated. And add this color to the creamy part of donut. Also add darker shade to the corners of teeth. Now the shadow part is complete. Create a new layer and navigate to pen tool. Select charcoal pencil from charcoals folder. Go to its settings, scroll down and you need to tap flow graph and save the setting. Next, long press to pick the monster's body color. Using a charcoal pencil, we will carefully craft a layer of fur along the edges of body. One more thing here, pick the respective color where you think the color changes and then draw the fur along the edges of body. We want this fur to blend in seamlessly. Now switch up to the direction Some fur going this way, some fur going that way. It's all about creating movement and energy. Now let's focus on the belly area. To first match the background color of belly, then place your strokes in a downward direction. Then switch to opposite sides of the belly and match the color again. This time place your strokes in an upward direction, creating a subtle contrast with previous strokes. Now here's the key part. Pick the opposite color and place your strokes in a downward direction again. By alternating the direction and color of your strokes, you will create a mesmerizing three-dimensional effect that gives the belly a delightful, soft and furry appearance. Now let's add a layer of fur along the edges of torso. To do this, match the respective color of surrounding background and draw in a flowy motion. Remember to keep your strokes smooth and continuous, allowing the fur to blend seamlessly into surrounding area. Now our monster has furry appearance. Create a new layer and change its blending mode to hard light. Select the first color from the color palette and make it slightly lighter. Now let's breathe some life into our monster's fur by adding lighter strokes of charcoal pencil. This will not only make the fur appear lighter and more vibrant, but also infuse it with the sense of dynamism and energy. Using gentle, flowing motions, add these lighter strokes to the fur, working your way along the entire furry body. Be sure to maintain a soft, subtle touch as if you are merely suggesting the texture of a fur rather than defining it too sharply. As you work, focus on adding these lighter strokes to all areas of furry body except for the dark areas, which we want to maintain their depth and richness. Just add few strokes in the dark area to the lower side of hands. Add lighter strokes of charcoal pencil all over the furry body. Once you have completed this step, head over to a smudge tool and gently blend the lighter strokes of charcoal pencil. This will help to merge the colors and create a seamless, organic look. Don't blend too much or don't blend harshly, just blend it softly and slightly. As you can see, the results are truly stunning. The fur now appears lighter, more vibrant and utterly captivating, with dark areas providing a beautiful dramatic contrast. Pick the lighter color of belly and use your charcoal pencil to add gentle strokes, creating the illusion of lighter fur. Next, head over to smudge tool and blend those strokes softly, merging them with the surrounding area. Pick the lighter color of torso and carefully place strokes of fur in the middle section. This will create a beautiful illusion of lighter fur, as if the upper layer of fur are catching the light. Select the last color from the color palette and lighten it slightly. Then apply this lighter shade to the middle part of creamy outer section. This will give a donut a more vibrant and illuminated appearance. Next, navigate to torso body layer and select this layer. Now, switch to hard light layer. Add this lighter color to the eyes to make them pop and stand out. Select Mostly Water brush from watercolor folder and using its large size, apply this light color to the horns and inner ears. This will create a beautiful lighting effect as if the light is also hitting these areas. Now select Modified HB pencil and add subtle lines to the horns. This will help define the segments and create more detailed and textured appearance. Next, select a dark color and add it beneath the lighter lines to make them more prominent. Increase the size of HB pencil and add this dark color to the shadow side of horns. Now make this color more saturated and add it to the edges of inner ear. Navigate to upper layer and create a layer above it. Now select the darker color. Now add short strokes of charcoal pencil to draw the eyebrows. Select the third color and select modified HB pencil. Now use this pencil to create a thin dark line above teeth. This will create a subtle shadow effect. Use eraser to shape it up. Select the black color and carefully apply it to one side of the nails. This will create a nice subtle shading effect, giving the nails some dimension and visual interest. Select concept pencil and select white color. Now use it to add sprinkles all over the donut. Vary the color and placement to create a playful, festive look. Now using brown color, carefully add shadows beneath the sprinkles. This will help ground the sprinkles and integrate them seamlessly into the donut surface. Now let's give our monster some texture. Select a dark color that's just a shade deeper than the monster's base color. Using this slightly darker hue, carefully draw small rounded dots all over the monster's body. This will create a subtle scale-like texture that adds depth and visual interest to our creature. Be sure to space the dots evenly and vary their size to achieve a natural organic look. Select a lighter color that complements the monster's base hue. Using this lighter shade, carefully add more subtle rounded dots to the face, creating a softer, more delicate texture. And our monster is ready. I hope you enjoyed the process because I have made it really easy for you. Like, share, and subscribe.